At the threshold of knowledge lies the commencement of understanding uncharted territories. Good morning to one and all present here. With great pleasure, we extend a heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you to the Samhitanavachara, the interdisciplinary symposium orchestrated by Whitefield Global School under the visionary leadership of our chairman, Dr. C. Purnachandra Rao. We are honored to have you here, sir. It is our immense pleasure to have the presence of our distinguished adjudicator,
Mr. Nitin Shastri, Director of Enterprise Content Technology at the London Stock Exchange Group, Mr. Amit Gupta, Vice President of the CK12 Foundation, Dr. Karthik Shastri, Professor at the RV College of Engineering, and Dr. Shweta Panchal, Professor at Vellore Institute of Technology. We also have Dr. Gayatrama and Dr. Mohula as judges from Whitefield Global School. We welcome you all.
Our salutations also go to our charismatic Director Academics, Dr. Sharda Chandrasekharan, our beloved Principal, Dr. Sita Shankar, our ever-supportive Vice Principal, Ms. Deepa S., our dedicated coordinators, quality heads, educators, and dear friends.
Can we have a round of applause, please? The lamp of learning shines brightest when it illuminates the minds of others. On this note, I request the dignitaries to light the lamp.
Now I invite Ms. Deepa S., our Vice Principal, to formally welcome our esteemed dignitaries.
A very good morning to all the distinguished dignitaries, dear parents, proficient faculty, enthusiastic students. I extend a warm welcome to all of you to this exciting paper presentation event. This gathering marks a celebration of talent, creativity, and the vibrant spirit that our school community represents. Today, we are here to witness the culmination of hard work, innovation, and dedication. As each team takes stage to showcase their remarkable research work, we are in for an inspiring journey of ideas and creativity. Let us embrace this opportunity to learn, connect, and celebrate the achievements that await ahead of us. Thank you all for being a part of this program. Our chairman, Dr. C. Purnachandra Rao, has always instilled in us the importance of research and development. It is his dream and far-sighted thoughts which has taken the shape of Innovation Cell in our school. Sir believes in bringing in an awareness among our students about the importance of having a growth mindset. A warm welcome to our visionary chairman to this August gathering. May I request Principal Dr. Sita Shankar to formally welcome Chairman Sir. Thank you, ma'am. We are extremely privileged to have amidst us four eminent personalities from the fields of technology, microbiology, and physics to be a part of today's event and guide our students in their pursuit of excellence. Mr. Amit Gupta, an accomplished technology leader with 25 plus years of experience at the forefront of innovative software product development. He currently heads the team at CK12 Foundation India, working on technology and educational content platform that can change how we learn. Earlier at Amazon Adobe, he managed the development of software solutions that simplified publishing on Kindle platform and provided pivotal management and development leadership for popular Adobe video products. He pioneered Adobe's script writing tool into indispensable tools for creating TV productions at broadcasters like BBC and ITV. A graduate of mechanical engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, Mr. Amit combines his inquisitiveness in graphics, robotics, and high-scale internet applications with a pioneering spirit, earning him innovative patents recognized by the US Patent Office. During his free time, Mr. Amit enjoys being a maker, engaging in an array of do-it-yourself projects that brings life to his diverse interests and experiences. He believes that learning for everyone goes much beyond classrooms, and with passion and perseverance, nothing is beyond anyone's reach. A hearty welcome to you, Mr. Amit. May I request our chairman, sir, to formally welcome Mr. Amit. Our next distinguished guest, Dr. Shweta Panchal, is currently working as an associate professor at School of Biosciences and Technology, Vellore Institute of Technology, Vellore, where she is engaged in teaching various subjects like microbiology, microbial biotechnology, plant biotechnology, and in guiding PhD scholars. She obtained her PhD degree from University of Texas, Arlington, USA, specializing in plant pathology, and MSc in microbiology from Maharaja Sayoji Rao University, Baroda. Post-PhD, she went on to complete 2 postdoctoral stints, one with Professor Bharat Chatu at MS University, Baroda, and the other with Professor Kaustav Sanyal at Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, Jakkur, Bengaluru. She has received research grants from various schemes from Science and Engineering Research Board, Department of Science and Technology, and Department of Biotechnology. She has presented her research at various national and international conferences. She has published 17 research articles in international peer-reviewed journals, which have been cited more than 450 times, 1 book chapter, and invited recommendation articles. She also serves as an associate editor of Bioprotocol Journal and has reviewed several research articles submitted to high-impact journals like Nature, Science, PNAS, etc. Her interests lie in understanding the changes in molecular events that occur during plant pathology interactions. She studies the role of plant immunity and pathogen virulence mechanism using genetic editing tools, omic methods, and high-resolution microscopy. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Shweta. May I request our chairman, sir, to formally welcome Dr. Shweta to this gathering. Thank you, sir. It is my privilege to introduce our third dignitary of the day, Dr. Karthik Shastri. Dr. Shastri is working as an assistant professor at RV College of Engineering, Bengaluru, India, where he teaches calculus and non-calculus based engineering physics courses. He has a strong educational background, including PhD in applied physics from University of Texas, Arlington. He is involved in various student enrichment activities by serving as a faculty advisor and mentor for the Astrophysics Club, and has been initiating student-based research and development programs. He has also participated in various faculty development programs and workshops related to teaching methodologies. Currently, he is part of pilot teaching program at RV College of Engineering that emphasizes boosting active student participation in classroom through the use of ICT tools, peer-based learning, and use of student projects. Prior to his stint in teaching, Dr. Shastri was involved in developing a novel time-of-flight spectrometer used to probe the surface of graphene through low-energy positrons. He was also part of research team that worked at National Synchrotron Light Source, that is NSLS-1, at Brookhaven National Labs, New York. He has also written proposals for SERB, DST, DOE, and ARPAE projects. Dr. Shastri has published in reputed peer-based journals like Nature, Physics Review, etc., on topics such as position spectroscopy, corrosion behavior, and electron emissions. Overall, Dr. Shastri has a strong academic and research background, as well as extensive teaching and mentoring experience. He has made significant contributions to the field of applied physics and continues to be actively involved in research and education. Dr. Shastri, we are honored to have you amidst us today. May I request Principal Dr. Sita Shankar to welcome Dr. Shastri to this gathering. Thank you, ma'am. Our final guest for the day, Mr. Nitin Shastri, Director, Enterprise Content Technology, London Stock Exchange Group. Dr. Nitin Shastri is a senior software professional with over 2.5 decades of work experience in the corporate world. In London Stock Exchange, Mr. Nitin manages teams of software developers that supports one of the world's top financial infrastructure that helps most of the financial professionals across the world. Prior to LSEG, he has worked for companies like Hewlett-Packard, Compaq, Digital Equipment Corporation, Thomson Reuters, and more. Working for some of the top companies has enabled him to work in different domains like content technology, risk technology, wealth management, e-commerce, and a lot more. While software development has been his forte, Mr. Nitin has been active in the area of education as well. Mr. Nitin has come out with a mobile app called Auducation, where language textbooks in audio can be found. Currently, they are available in 5 different languages: Kannada, Hindi, Sanskrit, Urdu, and English, in which the audio textbooks can be found in Auducation for students between grade 8 to 12. Over 7,000 students have been benefited from this, and the best part of it all is that it is given away for free. With a view of sharing the best practices of software industry to others, Mr. Nitin has been consulting some of the farmers' cooperative societies and FPOs, farmer producer organizations, to bring about positive changes in the way agri-tech can be used in processing the farm produce for better result to the farmers. The work with farmers is a carry forward of the work that Mr. Nitin has done by being a part of Arghyam, an NGO in water and sanitation sector. From education point of view, he has done BE in computer science from Chikkaballapur, Bangalore University, and MBA from University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. A cordial welcome to you, Mr. Shastri. May I request our principal, Dr. Sita Shankar, to do the honors. Dear audience, let us once again put our hands together to extend a heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to all our dignitaries for joining us today to be a part of today's event. I would like to welcome our principal, Dr. Sita Shankar, for enthusiastically leading us from the front and guiding our students towards the participation of today's event. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. I would like to welcome our parents who have joined us today for always supporting us in all our endeavors. Hearty welcome to all the parents who have gathered here today. A warm welcome to all the faculty members of Whitefield Global School for being a part of today's event. It is you who are the driving force and backbone of events at this magnitude. A warm welcome to all of you. To my dearest students, as I welcome you and wish you the best for your presentation today, I would like you to remember, don't wait for an opportunity. Go out and create it. Beware also that there is opportunity in adversity. Every problem is a potential opportunity for you to create solution that will add value to you and to others. What opportunities are available for you to be utilized today? Think about it. God bless children. Good luck to you always. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Mom.
No event is complete without the enlightening narratives of our Director Academics, Dr. Sharada Chandrasekharan. She was not able to make it to the event. However, she has sent her wishes through a video message.
Respected Chairman Sir, invited guests, parents, teachers, and darling students, a very warm good morning to all of you. And I regret being not there physically today, but I know that today of taking a big leap into the world of research. I would like to congratulate the principal, Dr. Sita, and her team for starting this event in our school. I'm extremely proud of them. I'm indeed very honored to address you on this topic. But before that, I would like to tell a small story. It seems there was an old man. Every day he used to sit under a tree and meditate. His grandson used to ask him, "What are you doing after the meditation?" Then he used to say that I am feeding the wolf. Every day this went on. So the grandson became very curious, where is the wolf? So he told, I believe there are two wolves inside me. One wolf want to be angry and shout, bite. The other wolf want to be peaceful. So I'm feeding the wolf. So he said, I believe, which wolf are you feeding? He said, I have taken a wolf which seeks peace, and you decide which wolf you want to feed. My question to all of you is, every one of us have got multiple wolves in us. So which wolf are we feeding? Are we feeding the wolf which gives us knowledge? Are we feeding the wolf which gives us a very instant result? Are we feeding the wolf which makes us our life and our entire learning journey stronger? It's all in our hands. Because when I look into the whole lot of learning session today, many children are confused what is best, where to go. Everybody is thrilled with the word research, but they do not know what exactly is research. They do not know how much of trials we have to do, how much of trial and errors will happen, and how to take the entire data into analyticals, and how to analyze the data to get the result. And many a time the result may not be good. Then how to go back. So this is a long journey. This will not give us an instant result. In such cases, how not to lose the patience. This also helps a lot. And this is also for all those people who think that a tutorial can replace a school. A tutorial may give you an instant result, but it will not give you a learning for life. A tutorial may give you just a small path, but a tutorial will not make the child learn for life. It is a school which can take a child into this learning journey. And if a child is attentive in the class, then the child learns everything. So this is what I wanted to tell you. I wish all of you all the best and success. I want all of you to get into this journey of research, and in many more years to come, you will be taking this path forever, and you will be remembering this alma mater of yours, which has laid the first stone into the field of research. I thank all the judges for accepting the invitation, for being here, and for guiding our darling students. And once again, I'm extremely thankful to our chairman, whose brainchild and whose vision is to turn the school into a research center. And, sir, today we have laid the foundation. I regret not being here, but I hope that we are going to go in this journey a long way. And I once again congratulate the principal whose brainchild is this entire event. Congratulations, Sita, and all of you, all the best, and may the best team win. In my view, all of you are winners because you have taken the first step into this learning journey. Congratulations and all the best to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your ever-inspiring words, ma'am. I would like to call our principal, Dr. Sita Shankar, to address the gathering.
Thank you, children. Respected Chairman, sir, esteemed judges, Vice Principal, coordinators, quality heads, teachers, parents, and students. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to Samhitanavachara, a humble endeavor to develop research spirit in our students. Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, if you cannot prepare the future for your children, prepare your children for the future. And this is our endeavor to prepare our students, our children for the future. What the future holds, nobody knows. Right now, in the next 10 years, 20 years, many of the jobs are going to go obsolete. With in the day and age of chat GPT and AI assistants, we really don't know how many jobs are going to be there and how many are not going to be there. So how do we prepare our students to face tomorrow's world? One of the things that we at Whitefield Global School do is to inculcate 21st century skills in our students, which will enable them to become competent in whatever the environment may be 20 years from today. And what are those skills we are looking at? Problem solving, critical thinking, public speaking, creativity, innovation, and empathy. And this endeavor today that we have our IDP Symposium is to inculcate these habits in our students. This thing that we are doing today, this event today, will help us bridge the gap between schools and higher education, schools and industries. We have erudite judges here who have been a part of the industry, who have been part of educational institutions, who can guide our children, give them the right pointers to shape themselves and be college ready and industry ready. Many parents come to us and tell us that, ma'am, where does the student have to concentrate? Should he concentrate on preparing for the tutorial, coaching center, or should he prepare for the school? I have, like Sharda ma'am just spoke to us, I have only one answer to parents, that we prepare the student for life. Coaching center may take you to your desired college, but schools prepare you for the college, prepare you for life. If a lack of students get into a college, what makes students stand out is the way they are groomed, the way they speak, the way their confidence levels. What they have done in school speaks a lot for students who plan to go abroad for foreign education or pursue research. And this platform is for all our students who want to learn, who want to grow, and who want to present their research findings. Like Sharda ma'am just said, research has become a very, very loosely used term. Anybody doing anything, they say it is research. So this endeavor of ours, this effort of ours is to bring originality into work that is being done. We want our children to produce original and genuine work that would be looked at by all the people around the world and being published in journals where they can very proudly say that in high school they have published a paper in journal. And this is the vision of our founder, our chairman, Dr. C. Purnachandra Rao, to develop an innovation cell in school. And this is the starting point for that innovation. So let us hope that today is a learning day for all of us, irrespective of student, teacher, or parent. We are all going to go enriched from today's event. Thank you for being here and wishing all the participants all the best. Participation is the key. All of you have already won. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
With this, let us direct our attention to the core objective that has united us here today. I kindly request the students from the Commerce and Humanities section to remain in the auditorium. Those from the Physical Science and AI sections are requested to proceed to the music room, and Biology and Psychology participants are requested to convene in the dance room. The students to settle quickly. I hope everyone settled down. Before we proceed, we are delighted to have Dr. Narendra Shekhar sir, our trustee, with us today. I request our principal to welcome sir. I would also like to welcome our revered judges who will be judging the students of Commerce and Humanities group with their expertise. We have Mr. Nitin Shastri. A round of applause, please. And Dr. Mohula. Please, one more. As the judges for this section. Let's begin with our presentations now. COVID 19 has had a major impact on humankind. Those were the years when we explored the world inside the four walls of our house. Due to the national shutdown, the tertiary sector was hit hard. There is no doubt that the tertiary sector is the most critical sector of our economy after the primary sector. The following four groups will be giving their presentation on the impact COVID 19 had on the Indian economy and tertiary sector with their innovative perspectives. Firstly, I welcome on stage Ritika, Mayank, Anish, and Ayush. A round of applause, please. Please encourage your friends.
Good morning. We are Group 1. I am Ritika Banerjee.
I'm Mayank Bhatia.
My name is Anish Kompella.
I am Ayush Kumar.
And we will be presenting the research on the impact of the the impact of COVID-19 on the Indian economy.
In our presentation, we would like to shed light on the following topics: abstract, introduction, research method, government reforms, secondary sector, tertiary sector, psychological impact, solutions, and the conclusions and findings.
Our presentation observes and analyzes the impact of COVID 19 on the Indian economy through both primary and secondary research. We have focused on two sectors: the medical industry of the secondary sector and the tourism industry of the tertiary sector. Furthermore, we have shed light on the psychological impact of the people who work in these industries. We delve into the current reforms and policies introduced by the Indian government during the pandemic and after the pandemic, and highlight various issues and shortcomings of the same that require immediate attention and provide prospective solutions for the problems that are highlighted.
Our presentation's core objective was to dissect the impact of the COVID-19 on the Indian economy. It is bifurcated into two sections: the quantitative analysis of the balance sheet and the qualitative analysis exploration of people's responses to the government reforms, health effects, and mindset. We employed a mixed method research. We merged trusted data sources with face-to-face interviews. While the quantitative analysis examined the balance sheets, the qualitative dimension delved into the psychological impact. Our purposive sample exceeded 30 participants, and it is safe to assume that they are less than 10% of the entire population. We had a limitation. Our limitation was that the people weren't ready to divulge the information unless we promised them complete confidentiality. Apart from that, we have gotten a good response to conduct our research.
The Indian government introduced various reforms during the advent of pandemic and afterwards to deal with problems that arrived spontaneously and manifested within the country. Various such schemes like the Scheme for Promotion of Medical Devices Park, Nidhi, Sathi, Swadesh Darshan Scheme, Prashad, Adopt a Heritage Scheme, and to strengthen the pharmaceutical industries were introduced.
However, the reforms targeted only the urban population in the states. Furthermore, there are huge costs of expenditure in development of tourist circuits and a severe lack of sustainability and community involvement. A lack of a feasibility report was not regularly prepared, which resulted in the poor identification of sites and the deficiency in the execution of projects, such as the delay in completion of the same. Moreover, the schemes that have been introduced haven't been conceived properly due to religious backwardness.
Keeping in mind the reforms, keeping in mind the reforms, I would like to explain the impact of COVID-19 on the secondary sector, specifically the pharmaceutical sector, with a case study on Sun Pharmaceuticals, which is India's one of the largest pharmaceutical companies. Although during the COVID-19 we saw a surge in the medical sector, yet Sun Pharmaceuticals saw a decline in their business. During the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the companies shifted their focus towards producing vaccines, medicines specifically targeted towards COVID-19. Uh, but Sun Pharma did not produce the vaccine or medicines related to COVID-19, which saw a decline in the business and the revenue sales. We can see a decline in the long-term borrowings, in the borrowings of the company. The company needed to decrease long-term borrowings, keeping in mind the debt management and cost reduction. As we know, the borrowings, the company has to pay interest. Therefore, the company was forced to reduce their long-term borrowings. Coming to the assets, we saw a decrease in the assets of Sun Pharmaceuticals. Although there was an increase in the inventories as there was reduction in the sales. After COVID, there was an increase in liabilities and the assets of for Sun Pharmaceuticals. The company was able to pay all their long-term borrowings, whereas there was a decrease only in the tangible assets, but all the other assets saw an increase. This is the summary of Sun Pharmaceuticals during COVID and post-COVID. Coming to the tertiary sector, tourism sector, we were during the pandemic, we saw tourism sector was one of the most heavily affected sectors as people were restrained of going out due to several restrictions and lockdowns. Individuals were confined to stay in their houses. We saw a significant drop in the business of Thomas Cook India, which is one of the leading companies when it comes to tourism sector. The borrowings of Thomas Cook India saw a drop. However, we saw an increase in the short-term borrowings. Although there was a decrease in the tourism sector and there was a decrease in the business of Thomas Cook India, the company still had to meet with its operational expenses such as rents, salaries, maintenance expenses, which posed a necessity for Thomas Cook India to get funds from short-term borrowings. The assets also saw a huge decline during the COVID time as there were no revenue from the tourism sector. Coming to the post-COVID era, we saw a significant increase in the business of Thomas Cook India as after COVID people started moving out of their houses and there was an increase in the business of Thomas Cook India. So this is a summary of the Thomas Cook India during and post-COVID.
So let's move on from numbers to some qualitative data. As mentioned earlier in research methodology, we cannot unveil our participants as we promise them complete confidentiality. So We are aware that we have taken a convenient sample rather than a representative sample of the general population, as we wanted to focus only on the medical sector. We conducted an in person interview and we surveyed responses for the question: were COVID 19 reforms that targeted the healthcare sector beneficial for the people who worked in that sector? From the graph, we can see that the percentage of people who said yes is 20%, followed by the people who answered somewhat, and I was not aware of those policies, to be 16.7% and 20% respectively. However, the most number of responses were for the answer no, which means that these people weren't even aware of what policies were introduced for them. We analyzed this data, and the reason for such a large percentage of people who are not aware is due to the fact that frontline medical professionals faced immense stress due to high patient loads, resource shortages, and the constant risk of infection. Witnessing suffering and death took a toll on their mental well being, leading to burnout, anxiety, and even trauma. Long working hours and separation from families strained their personal relationships. Despite their resilience, healthcare workers struggled with emotional exhaustion.
We are aware that during the COVID-19 pandemic, tourism sector was hit, and we conducted a survey, and we conducted an in-person interview with a group of people, and here's how the graph looks like. So in the surveyed responses for the question was whether COVID-19 reforms which targeted the tourism sector beneficial for the people working in that sector. So from the graph, we can see the people who said yes is 20%, and followed by people who answered somewhat, and some people who were not aware of policies is 10% and 16.7% respectively. The majority of people who lean towards no at a percentage of 53.3%. We analyzed this data and saw that a large percentage of people said no because a lot of them faced financial stress and economic job uncertainty in this sector that led to, and travel restrictions that led to decline of various tourism businesses. We can say that the abrupt halt in tourism activities, financial stress, economic hardship, that and triggered anxiety and distress was one of the reasons. Isolation from colleagues and uncertainty of business was one of the was when business might reduce.
Keeping in mind the earlier problems highlighted in the government reforms introduced during COVID 19 and the psychological analysis of the people working in the highlighted sectors, we have come up with some prospective solutions in regards to the few specific government reforms.
So we are now going to present our solutions on the various schemes that were introduced by government during the advent of COVID-19 pandemic and afterwards. So the first scheme is the bulk drug park and the medical devices park scheme. So this scheme, to improve this scheme, we have introduced our solutions. First can be the increase of financial assistance provided to the states by the central government. The second is to relax the eligibility criteria for states. These schemes have a bit of tightened criteria for selection of states. The third is to provide more flexibility to selection of these flexibility to the state governments in selection of these sites for these parks. The fourth is to provide incentives for setting up of bulk drug units in bulk drug parks, and government can also provide various other incentives such as tax breaks or to build drug units that set up in bulk drug parks. The last one can be to improve the coordination between the central and the state government to ensure an efficient way of managing the scheme. Now we have solutions for the tertiary sector, which is basically tourism sector in this point. So the we have introduced two schemes for the schemes that were introduced by government for tourism sector. One of is the Swadesh Darshan scheme. To improve this scheme, basically we have done is the solutions, the increase the number of theme based circuits. Basically Swadesh Darshan scheme follows a circuit based tourism activity, so the number of theme based circuits in this scheme is much lesser than what we need. If we increase the number of theme based circuits, then it can improve. The second is to improve the quality of infrastructure in the circuits. Basically, wherever the places that are mentioned in the circuits can have good roads, good airport connectivity, and good rail connectivity. The last is to promote the circuits more effectively, and through marketing, we can promote it more efficiently. The last scheme is Prasad scheme. So the solutions for this scheme is increase the budget for the scheme. It is seen that the government has been not spending adequately on this scheme, and the next is to expand the scope of the scheme. We should expand the scope. A lot of people are not aware about this scheme and how it is affecting the tourism sector. The last third is promote sustainable development, and at last is we can use technology to improve efficiency in this scheme. Basically, we are in this era of in the era of digitalization. We can use technology to improve the efficiency of this scheme.
To conclude, the COVID 19 has proven to be a monumental event with profound implication for every aspect of society, including the economy, government policies, and well being of individuals. This research paper has delved into the multifaceted impacts of the pandemic on India's economy, focusing on the government reforms, the secondary sector, the tertiary sector, and the psychological well being of the population.
The Indian government's response to the pandemic has been a combination of swift actions and strategic policies aimed at addressing the challenges posed by the crisis. The introduction of various schemes and reforms reflects a concerted effort to mitigate the economic fallout and promote recovery. However, it is clear that there are areas where these policies can be refined and bolstered for more effective outcomes. The proposed solutions, targeting issues within the schemes, emphasize the need for flexibility, improved coordination, enhanced incentives, and sustainable approaches. We extend a heartfelt thanks to everyone present here for providing the opportunity for us to present our concludings and share our findings with all of you. Thank you.
Do you want to check? We can ask them questions? Yes. Yeah. Can you go to the conclusion, just before the conclusions, that your recommendations that you have said? Yeah. Yes, we talk about the eligibility criteria for state. What
The
yeah.
bulk drug park scheme, the eligibility criteria for this is that the state should be it is morely preferred on states that have a coast. So basically, Himachal Pradesh raised the question whether it is eligible or not because the government allotted it. But the problem it had was that eligibility criteria was that it was not having rail connectivity to transport goods, and the second is that it was not having a bit of adequate infrastructure it needed for these parks. So this was the eligibility criteria for the bulk drug parks.
And you also mentioned about bulk somewhere, right? Yeah, bulk drug units. The fourth point, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you done any digging whether there is already bulk drug production already happening in India pre-COVID?
During
You-
COVID, as such, this scheme was introduced, but as it was done because we needed to be more self-reliant on production of medicines, so that it was done.
So we are aware that there were a bunch of bulk drug parks set up before COVID. However, during COVID, the government realized that India needs to be more self-sufficient with its drug production because we realized that we weren't self-sufficient with our own vaccines. We had to bring them in from outside. So to increase the production of vaccines and to make ourselves self-reliant and help with the shortage of vaccines, this scheme was introduced to establish the creation of more drug parks.
And in the next one, you have talked about Prasad scheme. I like the name of it. What is the theme behind? What is the Prasad scheme?
Prasad scheme is basically to improve. Its full form is pilgrimage, regeneration, and heritage.
You should have mentioned
Yeah.
that.
So basically, the aim of this scheme is to improve tourism, like pilgrimage tourism in religious sites, basically,
That's
like
not coming
Ayodhya,
out.
Varanasi kind of.
What was the question?
That's not coming out there with the Prasad. I mean, the name you have picked it up is very good.
Yeah,
But how did you come out with that is what I was trying to understand, but it is not coming out there.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the full form. It's a abbreviation, right?
No,
It's
he
the
just said-
abbreviation of a full
Yeah,
form.
he just said something. Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
That was a very impressive presentation. Next up, we have Tanish, Akash, Aryan, Nishchay, and Shreya for their inputs.
Good morning, everyone present here. Today, my team, that is me, Akash George Tarun, Tanush Raj Dora, Aryan Jha, Nishya Sharma, and Shreya Rao, are going to present a presentation on the impact of COVID-19 on the Indian economy. So, I would like to now present the abstract of our presentation. So, the abstract basically is the aim of our presentation is to show the impact two sectors in the tertiary sector, that is, the tourism and medical, pharmaceutical industry had on the contribution to the GDP of India. That is in regard to the pre-COVID situation and after COVID.
The impact of COVID-19. But before we go to the impact of COVID-19, I would like to speak about the overview of the tourism industry. So in the tourism industry is one of the most important industries in India. It contributes a huge portion of the GDP of India. So now when we domestic and international travelers both come to India to explore India for various reasons like medical tourism, religious regions, cultural regions, etc. So the impact of COVID-19 on Indian tourism industry was there was a lot of cancellations of flights and both internationally and domestically. People had to go into their homes. They were not allowed to go out because of travel bans. The tourism industry was affected the most in comparison to the pharmaceutical industry because the tourism industry was completely shut down. This caused a huge loss in the market of the tourism industry post-pandemic. Now, after the pandemic was over, the tourism industry had to recover. People wanted to go out, but they also needed some sort of safety. To provide this safety, the government came up with schemes like Digi Yatra. This helps in a seamless facial recognition system that was installed in airports like Indira Gandhi International Airport, Kempegowda International Airport, etc. This helped in faster travel and more secure. The people didn't have to interact with each other. Companies introduced a system of work from home. This prevented the spread of COVID-19, and many hotels ensured guest safety through sterilization and social distancing. Now, the economic impact on tourism industry. India ranks 7th in the position in the G20 in terms of tourism. It is a highly demanded tourism industry in the world. The tourism industry had dropped by almost $70 billion during the COVID pandemic. This change was almost 36.3%. All the arrivals and departures of flights, everything was cancelled. So as you can see in the graph, in 2019, the contribution of Indian tourism industry to the GDP of India was 7%. But in 2020, it reduced to 4.3%. That's almost a 3% drop. But again, in 2021, after COVID, it increased to 5.8. This may seem like a less increase, but it still matters a lot because people still went out and travels were now unrestricted.
I'm going to say about the challenges that will be faced by tourism industry after pandemic. So less groups, more itineraries. So people will be more hesitant to travel in large groups, and the tourism business will provide more customized itineraries to attract more customers, and hygiene and sanitation. So tourism industry will take strict hygiene and sanitation measures to reassure the people that they are taking the necessary steps to avoid the disease. And domestic market popularity may reduce. So domestic market popularity may reduce. People will be more hesitant to go for domestic travels as due to the fear of pandemic and shift in travel expectations. So after the COVID-19 pandemic, the travel expectations of people will change. They might prefer an experience which offers them a greater sense of security and rebuilding the sector. So after the COVID-19 pandemic, the tourism sector will need to rebuild, and it will require heavy investment and a boosting in the sector. So now I'm going to say about the suggestions for tourism industry for restoring the sector. So public-private collaboration. So the government and private sector together, they can take initiative to develop the tourism sector. They can develop tourism recovery plans to recover it from the pandemic, and data collection and sharing. So private and government sector can collect and share data on the Hello? Yes. By survey and research on topics such as tourism preferences of people, etc., and government interventions. So, government can intervene in the tourism market by giving direct investment and creating more schemes and policies to help the tourism sector recover from the pandemic. Thank you.
So, as my teammates have told about the impact of COVID on the tourism industry, I have made some analysis on the company Easy Trip Planners. So, if you see the balance sheet of 2020 and 2021, the share capital had no change, whereas the total liabilities and the total assets has changed of 35.10%. So the tourism company didn't need share capital change as it was going down in the market. It didn't have any foot in the market. So the total liabilities has increased as they took more borrowings to repay the debts. And in the asset side, it has increased as they needed to get some footing in the market. So they started providing services into the public. But if you see in 2023, the share capital has increased by a drastic change, which is 319%. As after the government got lenient, the citizens were going out of the houses. So the tourism company had to increase the share capital so that it gets more and more services sold and a profit for the company. So over here, if you see the total liabilities and total assets is 42.79% increase, which says that they paid all their long-term borrowings and have taken some borrowings so that they get the services sold. And in the asset side, they have made more fixed assets because after the tourism, they had to take care about the safety of the people citizens moving out of the houses so that they don't catch corona and the virus doesn't spread again. So they had increased their assets and the borrowings. So before I get into the impact of the pharmaceutical industry on the Indian economy, coronavirus was a pandemic that affected people mentally and as well as physically. The pandemic targeted people's respiratory system and it caused many people to die. It led to many fatalities as well. So keeping this in mind, the main focus of almost every single country was to ensure that they made vaccines. And India was one of the leading manufacturers of a Covax vaccine. It made sure that it focused on production and manufacturing these vaccines and tried to make sure that the the import went to almost every single country in the world. But then that caused many problems in relating to India's domestic pharmaceutical industries because hospitals did not pay much attention to the essential healthcare or even routine work. If someone needed to go for a health checkup, they could not get the appointment, they could not get the time in the hospital because of the fact that they had to focus on the COVID patients. They had to focus on the fact that they had to manufacture vaccines. So this led to an overall destabilizing effect on the pharmaceutical industry of India. So post-pandemic, there was very inherent need for robust infrastructure and digital healthcare platforms. After pandemic, people realized that if they needed to consult a doctor, it did not require them to go to the hospital and meet in person. The doctor also is a very busy person. Maybe we can meet through a meeting, 5 minutes, that's all I need. I can maybe figure out, is my cold a problem? Do I need to take this medicine? Can this medicine rectify my situation right now? That's why there was a huge need for digital platform and a good infrastructure for every kind of medical industry. Now, also, as I mentioned, there was a reduction in the essential healthcare services because they were focusing on manufacturing, bulk manufacturing of vaccines and related medicines for COVID-19. The pharmaceutical industries paid less attention to normal medicines. Like if I talk about Dolo, if I say Montez, things like this, they focused less on them, which led to problems because people weren't able to get that kind of facilities now. There was also need for increased investment in pharmaceuticals. Despite the huge need for vaccines, the huge need for medicines in this period, COVID-19, the government and foreign investors did not recognize the need to invest in the pharmaceutical industry. There was much less foreign direct investment than there should have been. So that was one of the major problems that had to be rectified post-pandemic. As already mentioned, the psychological impact as well affected many people of COVID. My teammates have already mentioned people were afraid to get out of their houses. Can you imagine that? Being trapped in your own house. That is why they need to focus on psychiatrists, people to help people understand that, you know what, it's fine. The pandemic got over. You're safe now. So the main challenges in bullet points, if I present them to you, are disrupted supply chains, right? The pharmaceutical industries had problems with essential healthcare. They could not give normal medicines. They are focused too much on vaccines that resulted in disrupted supply chains of the normal medicines. That had to be rectified. Then there was also imbalanced labor market. Now, because of COVID-19, there was a huge loss of jobs in many sectors. But healthcare was one sector that remained on the top. You needed people to make sure that, like, you needed nurses to help the patients. You needed somebody else to manufacture the drugs or the medicines that you need. So healthcare was booming, but that caused problems because there was also increased workload. Now, if there's increased workload, there's stress. Stress leads to burnout. After all, we're only human, right? Which is why it caused a lot of problems on the people, the healthcare workers' own physical and mental physiology. Now, if I talk about the solutions, the main solution that I think is to reduce dependency and ensure self-sufficiency of bulk drug manufacturing through foreign direct investment. I've already stressed the inherent need that India has because they do not have investments. The government has implemented many schemes. There is the PLI scheme. There are many initiatives also taken, but they have not given the results that they said they would. There is a huge need for investment, and that needs to be rectified. The other solution that I think is beneficial for both sectors is the introduction and the encouragement of medical tourism. So, what is medical tourism? Suppose I need a kidney transplant. Now, maybe if I'm staying in US, I'm not able to get it. Or maybe it's a high cost for me. So why don't I go to India? Why don't I go to some other place and maybe I can get my medical treatment done there? Maybe that would be better for me, cost effective, and I'll be able to save my own life, right? So that's why there should be encouragement of medical tourism in India. For information, the medical tourism value in India in 2020 was $9 billion US dollars. Just keep that in mind. 9 billion US dollars. However, in 2022, it became 7 billion US dollars. That's $2 billion gone, just vanished. Because there was no need for it. After COVID-19 passed, people were like, you know what? I'm safe in my house. This country is good. That's not right. There has to be encouragement. You should bring awareness. The government, private sectors, they should bring awareness to the fact that, you know what, we have good schemes here. We have good medical infrastructure here. You can come here. Medical tourism should be advanced. This will also help the tourism sector. They can help them become better.
Based on what's explained in the previous slide, there is a graphical representation for the same. Now, FDI refers to foreign direct investment. As you can see, there's a huge spike from 2019 to 2020. This means that foreign investors see the potential India has in the pharmaceutical industry, especially in desperate times like the COVID-19 pandemic, where medicines are one of the major necessities across the world. This is the equation of trend line for the same. Size of the healthcare market in India from 2008 to 2020 with an estimate for 2022. As you can see, it has spiked in 2020 because of the coronavirus pandemic, where medicines were a major necessity. However, from the previous graph, we have seen that it has dropped down, the FDIs, the investment, the foreign investors. So this estimate for 2022 might not be accurate.
Okay, now I have taken another case study of Cipla Limited for the analysis in the medicine industry. So if you see, here, for the year 2020 and 2021, the absolute change of the share capital has 0% change, as there was a boom in the medicine industry. So they did not need to introduce the share capital in the industry. But if you see in the total liabilities, it has increased by 6.11%, which says that they paid all their long-term borrowings and the short-term borrowings for producing more medicines have increased. But if you see, also the total assets is equal to total liabilities, so total assets is also 6.11%, except the fixed assets. If you see, all the other assets has increased by this number of percentages, which increased in 6.11%. But if you see in the for the year 2022 and 2023, the share capital again has no change, as they didn't require the money to, increase the production in the company, but they did require the money for the production, as long-term borrowings has increased for the selling of the medicines. But if you see in total assets, it has also increased by 9.09%. The trade receivables increased, the capital work in progress has increased, and the investments has increased for the company so that it regains the footing in the market.
So, as my teammates have already explained, this was our understanding, our research on the impact of COVID-19 on the Indian economy. So, in conclusion, the coronavirus was a pandemic that affected international business, commerce, and brought it to a standstill. Now, keeping all that we've explained to you so far, the main things that we have stressed upon are the need for the government and MNCs, that is the private sectors, to give investments, to understand the need of both medical industries and tourism industries and how much they contribute to India's GDP. We hope this presentation was an enriching experience for all of you. Thank you for your time.
Yes. Congratulations. You have done a good job.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I was wondering that when you were presenting some data, the sources were missing. So can you get back to those data, secondary data, and from where have you taken?
Okay, ma'am,
Yeah.
so
Yes, from
this,
where have you taken any
ma'am,
data?
so ma'am, all the balance sheets have been taken from screener.in. That is the financial statements of the companies themselves.
And it has been mentioned in the research paper that we have, the printed research paper that we have.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
But actually, this analysis is made by ourselves. Like, we have done all the calculations through ourselves. We didn't use any website for this mostly. We just use for the values, but not for this.
Ma'am, all these information regarding the numbers, numericals of the both years, that is from the balance sheet. Everything else is done by us, our own analysis.
Self-calculated.
You have calculated. You should have put the calculations also. When you have done that, so you should have put the calculations also. Then
Okay,
you should know that the data is real, right? Authentic.
Understood, ma'am.
Right? Thank you.
Yeah, just curious. Okay, you were showing in one of the slides about the size of healthcare industry.
Yeah.
It's been increasing, at least in India. And
No,
you mentioned about a spike in 2020, right?
Yes, sir.
Are we getting unhealthy?
So, sir, this is actually just an estimate. It's sitting over here with an estimate for 2022. So the thing is, what we were stressing upon was the previous slide talked about how foreign investment has been decreasing. The foreign direct investment in India on the pharmaceutical industry was decreasing over the years. And this estimate was actually done in 2020. It was done during the COVID to understand what would be the impact. But then we said that the foreign investment has decreased. So what we are saying is this graph that shows the estimate, a progressively increasing estimate, and just 372 may not be accurate, because if we don't rectify situations now, then this estimate may not become true.
One more thing, if you see no, same slide. If you see, there's the increase in the graph, but after COVID time, the medicine industry didn't grow much because government was lenient and all the citizens wanted to move out. So it had a slow drop down, but then it did increase in the COVID period.
It looks like it is going at somewhere between 9 to 12% steadily from
Yes, sir.
2008.
Then 2020, it's a huge increase because of COVID.
That's understandable.
Exactly.
And you also mentioned about what caught my eyes was
I'm sorry, sir?
digital healthcare platform.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is that about?
So what I meant by that was there are so many apps now. The hospital apps have them themselves, allowing people to interact with the doctor online for some, like a 10-minute session or 15-minute consulting session. That's what I meant. Like there should be, the problem is it's not as aware. People aren't as aware and they don't trust the system as much. They don't understand how can we trust the doctor who's not even checking us right now. He's not physically checking us. How can we trust that doctor's opinion? That's what I meant. They should improve the infrastructure of that. Both the government and the MNCs should figure out a way to help the public become a bit more aware, conscious, and more understanding of what exactly is happening in that process.
Well, there was again during the pandemic, when you couldn't go out of the houses, there were some certain apps where you could go on a video call with the doctor and tell your symptoms, through which he could tell what you have, like make an estimate of what you have and give you the medicine for that. So that's also a good thing for it.
Do you know what is the percentage? I mean, you may not know. If you don't know, don't worry. What is the percentage of private versus government investment in pharmaceuticals?
So as of right now, the I know the PLI scheme is basically where the government has made investments in the pharmaceutical industry, but I'm not aware of the current, like the accurate percentage.
Okay. Now, because I asked this question is because overall tone of your presentation was coming as though that the government should do this, government should do that kind of thing. That's where I'm trying to see if you are backing it up with some data, comparing it maybe if the private sectors have not been contributing enough. That's what I was trying to come to.
No, actually, so I have data regarding that. So the thing is, um, sorry, this this is a government site that has showed the foreign direct investment inside its own country. So this is the private sector, the foreign direct investment of the private sector. This is the accurate information. But the reason I did not do government was, sir, when I was researching, I found that the government itself, many of the reports are contradictory. If you look at Ministry of Tourism, that's the government-owned site, they show a different percentage. But every other site, if you search on any kind of journalism or any kind of business journalism regarding this, they show a different percentage. There's no accurate percentage regarding how much the government has invested because there's no reports that's done it. All the government has done is the PLI scheme for investment, the production linked incentive. That's all. That's why I did not search that because I realized it was a waste of time. I don't have accurate information on that.
Fair enough.
Adding on, since government made only policies and not much investment to the medicine industry, so we have taken the private industry or the private industries for that comparison and case studies. So it'll be better as the numbers.
Now to follow up, we have Meerapriya, Midhu, Varshini, Daya Meher, and Ramyashri.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Today, myself, Varshini, and my team will be presenting a comprehensive analysis of socio-economic policies and government strategies during the COVID-19 period. In this presentation, we will be coming across the following topics. First, the overall impact of COVID-19. Second, the impact on the pharmaceutical and the tourism sector. Next, the financial statement analysis. And lastly, the suggestions to tackle COVID-19 effectively. Now, I would like to hand over the mic to Mira.
So, in this report, we will examine the profound impact of government policies in response to the COVID-19 pandemic on tourism, which is Kerala tourism, and the pharmaceutical industry, taking the Indraprastha Apollo Hospital in Delhi through a comparative analysis of the pre-COVID and during COVID periods. Handing over the mic to Ramya.
The objectives of today's presentation are to study the overall impact of COVID-19, the impact of government policies on the medical and tourism sector, and a primary research, and lastly, the financial statement analysis. I would like to hand over the mic to Midhu.
Thank you. Overall impact of COVID-19. COVID-19 pandemic was a significant impact on India. Our country has faced various situations like job losses, disturbed education, widespread infection, overwhelmed healthcare, and many more. Various measures like restrictions and lockdown were implemented to curb COVID-19 and led to both immediate challenges and long-term consequences across various sectors. I would like to hand over the Vash.
Thank you.
Now, I will be taking you all through the government policies of the pharmaceutical sector. The emergence of COVID-19 in India called for immediate action. The government constituted 11 empowered groups on various aspects of COVID-19 in order to take informed decisions on pandemic-related issues. They also formed a 3-tier arrangement of health facilities based on the intensity of the COVID-19 for appropriate management of COVID-19 cases. Location-enabled Arogya Setu app was launched for contact tracing of the affected people. The government also focused on bolstering the infrastructure of the economy. They ensured availability of ventilators by procuring them through central means and supplying them to the states and UTs depending on the demand. Over 1,563 oxygen plants were sanctioned, which had the capacity to support more than 1 lakh beds per day. They also focused on launching the world's largest vaccination drive. Because of these efforts, over 100 crore people were vaccinated by October 2021.
Impact of business environment on pharmaceutical industry. First, the social impact. So there were two major changes in healthcare industry, which was patient care and delivery of care. Research studies on patient care shows that nurses felt more confident and increased pride in their services. Delivery of care was another aspect which changed during the pandemic, which was providing telemedicine services instead of traditional office visits, which was a huge success. Now, economic impact on pharmaceutical industry. Demand change which led to panic buying oral medication. It also increased hospitalization and demand for assigning patients to ventilators. Technological impact. There was shift of communication to telecommunication and telehealth. Marketing and promotion of healthcare products was shifted from face to face towards the telecommunication and telecommunication.
Let's have a look at the policies which were introduced by the government during the pandemic with regards to tourism. Emphasizing on Kerala, Kerala introduced a groundbreaking strategy of buyer bubbles. According to this, all the tourists landing in Kerala were greeted by the vaccinated staff. Secondly, the tourists were supposed to have at least one COVID-19 vaccine or a recent RT-PCR report. This was not only done for the tourists' well-being and safety, but also for the safety and the well-being of the tourism sector in the long run.
The tourism industry is very important for Kerala. The tourism sector contributes 12% to Kerala's GDP, and this is compared to the national average of 7.5% in 2019. So you see how important tourism is for Kerala. It also employs 23.5% of the workforce. The government policies introduced mainly impacted the social, political, and the economic environment. Travel restrictions such as mandatory RT-PCR tests, weekend curfews, and social gathering restrictions constitute the political business environment. This made the general public, reluctant to leave their homes due to these travel restrictions, and also because of healthcare concerns. The economic environment mainly constituted the small and medium-sized store operators and homestays, of which struggled during the pandemic. Thousands of them had ceased operations, whereas the remaining were in debt. This left financial institutions reluctant to lend to small and medium-sized store operators and homestays.
So India is the third largest drug producers in the economy, but the COVID-19 disrupted the supply chain management of medicines in India due to leading to challenges in manufacturing, distribution, and accessibility. So the reasons for the disrupted supply chain is the varying lockdown guidelines. So every country had a different rules and regulations for the lockdown, and the pharmaceutical companies operating across the globe, they found it difficult to operate seamlessly. Second, a labor shortage. Millions of workers, they walked back home, due to which the pharmaceutical units had to operate at a reduced capacity, and also the warehouses were very underutilized. The third is the rise in the prices of drugs. At a particular point of time, the essential medicines like paracetamol rose up from rupees 250 to 300 kilogram to rupees 350 to 400 kilogram. The interstate transport challenges. A considerable chunk of medicines had to be transported across the country from Goa and Sikkim. So the restricted travels during the lockdown affected the supply of these drugs, affecting the wholesalers and retailers. So the healthcare sector, they had to adapt rapidly by embracing digital solutions, collaborating across various stakeholders, and implementing innovative strategies to maintain the availability of essential medicines. So the psychological impact. The onset of this virus caused a huge psychological stress, but the least addressed was the psychological impact on the medical workers. So, next. So, on analyzing a few parameters from a psychological study, this is a conclusion drawn up. If you can look at it for a minute. Yeah. So the overall psychological issues were found to affect 43.51% of the physicians, 41.9% of the nurses, 28.3% of the technical persons, and 45% of the general population. So addressing the psychological impact were crucial for the well-being and for maintaining quality in the healthcare services. Also promoting mental health supports, implementing strategies to reduce the work-related stress, and the most important, to promote a culture of open communication and also recognize the efforts of these medical workers are some important steps to mitigate the negative impacts of COVID-19.
We had conducted a survey to analyze the psychological impact of travel restrictions. We had received 100 responses on a survey we had sent, 42 of which are 20 to 30 years old, 38 of which are 10 to 20 years old, 12% of respondents are 30 to 40 years old, and the remaining are 40 to 50 years old. Before the pandemic, 35% of the respondents engaged in one trip per year, 22% engaged in both 2 and 3 trips per year, and 15% of the respondents engaged in 5 or more trips per year.
Adding on to what Mira told, here are more questions of our primary data we conducted with a survey. So the first one is 87% of the respondents were aware of all the government policies which were introduced in the response of COVID-19. Secondly, is 67% of the respondents were really affected badly by the policies which were introduced. Thirdly, 58% of the respondents experience isolation due to these policies such as quarantine, lockdown. Then comes 57% made travel a priority after all the restrictions which were removed. And then comes 37% of the respondents were found working online during the lockdown period, which they found very inconvenient and questioned its long-term viability. There's a graph beside as well.
With the development of many trials and programs meant to find a cure for COVID-19, another problem began, which was the misinformation and fake news about the virus, its treatment or methods to combat it. Due to this, along with the pandemic, people were forced to face an epidemic of information, which the General Director of WHO had termed as an infodemic. Here are some kinds of fake news given, such as 5G has caused the virus, asymptomatic people do not transmit the diseases, etc. This has impacted both healthcare workers and patients negatively. Healthcare workers have revealed that the misinformation about medicines has negatively impacted their relationship with their patients, and people lose their trust in the media if a news article turns out to be false. Due to this, they may not believe a news article even if it is genuine.
So we had conducted an analysis, a trend analysis of the revenue earned by the Tourism Department of Kerala from the years 2012 to 2022. As you can see, there's a sharp decrease in the tourism from 2019, which is almost 45 crores, and the tourism in 2020, which is over 11 crores. This can be better shown by a graph. As you can see, there is an increasing trend from the years 2012 to 2018, after which it decreases because we had conducted 3-year moving averages, and the low revenue earned in 2020 contributed to the decreasing trend.
We have created a comparative statement of Indraprastha Apollo Hospital. From 2019 to 2020, there was 5.4% in revenue. Now, if you look at the graph, 2020 to 2021, it has reduced from 831 to 13, which was the percentage minus 26.2%. 0.23. The reason for negative figures is because hospitals were more focused on treating the patient instead of making profits. So that is because of COVID-19 which hit during this particular period of time. We have also noticed our expenses which are also increased. Before pre-COVID it was 5.4 percentage. Now it has increased to 7.69 percentage.
So for 2021 to 2022, if you see the tax rate, it has decreased from 46% to 26%. So this is because the government gave them tax benefits. So the tax savings, they were distributed to the shareholders to raise the prices of the stock so that they can focus more on increasing the profits rather than their multi-year investments to build new hospitals. So because of which you can see that the revenue for the year 2021 to 22 is 30.96% and the expenses decreased from 7.69% to 5.26%.
Now, here are a few solutions or suggestions which we would like to suggest to the government to tackle the tourism industry problem. Firstly, is a financial support. Businesses were grappling with challenges and providing them with relief funds, tax breaks was actually a lifeline. Secondly, is flexible cancellation policies, or what I like to call adaptability builds confidence, is rebuilding the tourism confidence by flexible changes like which includes flexible cancellation of the tickets you booked or the flexible booking of tickets. It's very convenient for them and eradicates all sorts of risks and uncertainties.
Okay, solution for pharmaceutical industry. First one is collaboration with academic and research institutes. This is mainly done to promote knowledge exchange and collaborating research and development work. Second one is export and international partnership. The export of medical supplies are done to the international market in order to create a new revenue stream.
In conclusion, the global COVID-19 pandemic triggered a severe socio-economic crisis. This impacted the industrial and tertiary sectors. While the industrial sectors faced many disruptions, the tertiary sector, especially travel and hospitality, faced severe job losses. The Indian government's pandemic reforms aimed at immediate relief and long term resilience. Measures like digitization and supporting local manufacturing aim to create a self reliant economy.
However, the full impact of these reforms remain unfolding as the pandemic's aftermath endures. So to summarize, the pandemic highlighted the need for adaptable strategies, striking a balance between health, economy, and societal well-being for a sustained recovery. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm checking the time, 15 minutes, because there is a column for time limit. I'm checking that beyond 1 minute beyond I'm putting. That's it. Come on, sir. Please ask. I found this presentation.
Huh?
Please ask.
Ready for some questions? You guys ready for some questions? Okay. I must say the quality of the PPT has been very good. It was coming out very good. And one solution that you provided about cancellation of tickets.
That's the second solution. It's about flexible cancellation policies. During quarantine and lockdown, if you book a ticket and later you have to cancel it, it's a loss for you, right? So flexible cancellation policies basically aims at whenever you want to cancel it because of any sort of imposition of a lockdown or something like that, it's easy for a person and you won't have to incur a loss in cases like that. Flexibility, basically.
And you dedicated, maybe I went through the report, and there's one whole slide dedicated on misinformation. Any solutions for that?
I feel that the best solution would be to spread awareness to the public so that they would know which information to trust and
Who
which
should
one
do? Who should do?
the government.
Okay. No, it's okay if you don't have answers, that's fine. But I'm just saying, I mean, it is something that you may want to think about because each one of you, the moment you come down, maybe you'll go to the mobiles, right? Start looking at things. Yeah. So that's why. Yeah, you wanted to say something? And there's you also mentioned about there was some graph or some numbers around international travel. International travel data that you had shown. Yeah. This is one. What is the relevance of international travel in this one?
We are basically asking for both domestic and international travel. How many trips a person took per year? This was before the pandemic, after which people did not take any trips.
Not necessarily on just the international. Yeah.
We are just trying to find out the demography. It's just for information.
Thank you.
The focus on a survey was psychological impact.
In travel.
Psychological impact on tourism.
Okay.
This is just to find out data.
Present our result in front of you all. So, starting with the problem statement. Our problem statement was determine and compare the effects of e-commerce on MNCs. For this research, we have chosen two giant MNCs, Amazon and Walmart. Walmart in India is also known as Flipkart Wholesale. Amazon is largest online e-retailer, the prominent cloud service provider, which was established by Sir Jeff Bezos in 1994. Dr. Walmart is an American multinational corporation for retailers and also having a huge chain of hypermarkets, which was established in 1962 by Seth Hodgson. Our research paper focuses on the problem statement, determining and comparing the effects of e-commerce. Now, before we understand our problem, what is e-commerce? E-commerce means buying and selling of goods and services and transmitting the funds or data with the help of electronic network or initially network and internet. Yeah. As my friend Karan told, we have taken two major MNCs into our comparison, Amazon and Walmart. Amazon is one of the biggest e-commerce and e-commerce platform, and on the other hand, we have taken Walmart. Um, in the other hand, we have taken Walmart, which is another e-commerce platform which started in 2000 and started effectively working in 2016.
So the methods we use in research. So we made a questionnaire to collect the responses. So the online questionnaire basically consists of close-ended questions, and by which we obtain our primary data. So the survey mainly focuses on e-commerce, Amazon and Walmart, in daily lives of consumers. And the questionnaire consists of 5 questions, which keeping in mind that most questionnaires consist of short and succinctly effective. And the questions which we ask in the questionnaire are what's your income? How frequently do you engage in e-commerce activities? How often you purchase goods from Amazon? And how often you purchase goods from Walmart? Do you think that being able to buy products from Amazon, Walmart online allows you to buy more efficient and convenient? And in total, we received 102 responses.
So for the first question which was asked, which was what was your age? Most of our respondents gave an answer for the age bracket of 18 to 24. Now, in this age bracket, they don't have a stable source of income. They most of them get pocket money. And so the second question, do you think that being able to buy the products of the brands, Amazon and Walmart will allow the shopping to be more convenient and efficient. The answer we got, the respondents replied with yes, which was their comfort level. Now, the third question was how often do you purchase from Walmart online? And most respondents replied with once every few months. Now, next question, how frequently do you engage in e-commerce activities? Most respondents replied with several times a month. And the last question, how often do you purchase goods from Amazon? Compared to Walmart, this was more frequent from the respondents for several times a month.
So this is Amazon's balance sheet, consolidated balance sheet for the year 2022 and 2021. So the total assets come out to be 460 billion US dollars in 2022. When we compare this with the assets of 2021, which is 420 billion, we see an increase of about 40 billion. The financial focus is on long-term sustainable growth in cash flows. And free cash flows are primarily driven by increasing our operating income and decreasing operating costs. Hence, we think this will be the focus for the upcoming financial years. And though Flipkart is a popular online shopping platform, it's well behind Amazon in terms of sales. It's only about 60 million in comparison to Amazon's 510. We got our balance sheets from Amazon's annual report of 2022. Now, this is Walmart's consolidated balance sheet for the year 2022 and 2021. Walmart's assets amount to approximately 250 billion, which when we compare to 2021, we can see a decrease of nearly 10 million. Walmart also has a thriving offline market instead of Amazon, which focuses only on online sales. Walmart's online sales approximate to an amount of 73 billion in 2022. Walmart wants to increase their sales for upcoming years and decrease their general operation costs so that they can focus on profit maximization for their upcoming financial years. This data was received from Walmart's annual report for 2022.
So to get a deeper understanding between the comparison of Amazon and Walmart, we conducted a comparative analysis and here are the results.
In 2022, as we can see, Amazon had 514 billion as their revenue, up from 469.8 billion for the last year.
Whereas compared to Walmart as of 2022, Walmart's revenue amounted to approximately 611 billion, which was up by 7% from the previous year, which was 568 billion.
Amazon's stock is $114.
But Walmart's current stock price is $155.
Amazon is doubling down on customers using analytical strategies like they give discounts, offers, for example, Great India Sale.
But Walmart targets its customer base by analyzing the customer data and going through the records and giving the customers a more reliable means of shopping and more preferred means. And for example, Walmart is connected to Flipkart, so therefore the Big Billion Days is a very famous sale.
Whereas
the number of people who don't purchase from Walmart is of a percentage of 23%.
So we come to the conclusion of our survey, which derives that e-commerce has been a huge help for both the MNCs, either Amazon or Walmart. But specifically, Amazon started as an e-commerce business, whereas Walmart started with the physical stores. Later in 2000, they established Walmart.com, where you can purchase online and offline through that. But seeing that being an old player in e-commerce platform, Amazon is having a high share in the retailing market compared to Walmart. But saying this, in 2016, Walmart had high efficiency internet providing and had a huge help and increased their sales due to online services. So end of the day, Amazon was the first one who had huge help, but later Walmart has increased their shares, having the more profit in 2016, being a greatest rival for Amazon in the retail market. Thank you.
that the following sources the following sources of the data that is collected from the research, like determining and comparing the effects on e-commerce, like Amazon, which are Amazon and Walmart.
Are there any questions you would like to ask us?
This topic is for two MNCs and they compare comparative analysis of two MNCs. E-commerce in both the two MNCs or whatever.
No, this is okay. This is nothing to do with COVID.
No, no, this is, I think, it's for it's not COVID.
Yeah,
Only e-commerce. So this class is not only e-commerce. This class of e-commerce. They are doing e-commerce.
So, which is better, Amazon or Walmart?
In India, Walmart has the shares of Flipkart wholesale, and for Indian audience, Walmart never existed. It's Flipkart wholesale for us. But having more innovation in Amazon, as it was one day delivery, having Prime services, we feel Amazon is much better compared to Flipkart.
So why did you choose Amazon with Walmart?
We had a survey conducted where we see which companies have the highest market retailing. When we saw first position was claimed by Amazon having 34% of market share in retail online, and second one was Walmart, which 6%.
So you conducted a primary survey?
Yes, that was the survey given in our methods of research.
Okay, what were the other companies?
Other companies, Apple, IKEA, and others.
Okay. Any other questions, sir?
Do you know that Amazon has been buying brick and mortar company as well?
Can you repeat? I could not hear.
Now Walmart, they have a proper stores, right? Amazon did not have proper stores. It's
Yeah.
mostly e-commerce. Do you know that Amazon has started to buy proper stores?
Yes, we were aware that they have recently started buying into more physical stores, but as of right now, Amazon's online sales are still a majority of their total sales. So we decided to take only that into account.
So Amazon is coming from e-commerce to brick and mortar.
Yes.
Walmart is going from brick and mortar to
Yes, yes.
e-commerce, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, which is better? Which way is better?
Uh,
Walmart has both physical stores and online, so it's easier for the customers to access, whether it's a physical store or online. But Amazon's main medium of shopping is online. So
your friend
So we
just said that Amazon is better.
It depends on consumer equilibrium, as few people feel that you have to personally visit the stores and that we have few things which you cannot see in through online, you have to purchase from physical. So
We don't
from that
think-
sense, you can go to Walmart. But in sense, when you feel convenience and you have less time that you want, however the product is, you have to reach it in time, you can use Amazon for that.
So you are saying.
Yeah, we don't think for now that either Walmart or Amazon will fully commit to complete physical or complete online. For now, I think it's going to be a balance for the upcoming years between online and offline.
Just a food for thought, okay? How is Geo coming? You can think about it later, okay? Yeah, that's an Indian company, right? Both Amazon and Walmart are not.
Yeah.
So Geo having online from Geo Mart where you can purchase both.
Reliance.
Oh yeah.
Geo, yeah. You can do the research later. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sorry, we're not very informed on that topic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
E-commerce is a powerful means to connect the unconnected to global trade. To inform us about e-commerce's far-reaching effects and its impact on the multinational companies, I have with me two more groups. From the first group, I invite Sheenam, Arjun, Harsh, Harun, and Itash.
This is not a PPT.
Good morning to one and all present here. Today, our group number three, will be presenting a presentation on e-commerce.
So this group consists of me, myself, Arjun, my friend Etash, Harsh, Sheenam, and Harun. So for this project, our main topic is determining the change in magnitude caused by e-commerce to startups such as Nike and to MNCs such as Lakme. Now, for our presentation on our report, we have made use of finance to be an important aspect to compare two companies. So we have made use of profitability ratios, profit and demand graph, charts, and various other such resources such as a balance sheet to determine the difference in both these companies and how e-commerce has impacted them separately.
So, hello. We have chosen Nykaa and Trend for research. Nykaa is an Indian e-commerce company headquartered in Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. It sells beauty and fashion products through its website and app. It has over 100 physical stores in India.
So, Trend is one of the leading players in the branded retail industry. It was originally incorporated as Lakme Limited or Lakme.
So, for comparison of both of the companies, we have taken two things: the balance sheet and price and demand graph.
Here we have the balance sheet for Lakme. We took the balance sheet for Lakme from the year 2019 and for the year 2023. It can be noted that in 2019, the in the liability side, it can be noted that the borrowings are of 494 crores, and in March 2023, the borrowings have gone up to 4464 crores. That is a 800% increase in the borrowings. And in the asset sides, we can see that the fixed assets are worth 662 crores in March 2019, and in March 2023, it can be seen that 4527 crore is the value of the fixed assets. That's a 508% increase. So we can conclude that Lakme has borrowed a lot of money and invested that money into fixed assets.
Now, I would like to discuss the balance sheet for Nykaa. So, as we have taken similar years, which is 2019 and 2023, so we can say that there's a major improvement in the total assets and total liabilities in both the years. This is as around the same time Nykaa has declared itself to be an IPO, that is a public company. It's raised its initial public offer so as to which has helped increase its capital totally. Thus, we can see that Nykaa has gone from having 12 crores in cash to having 149. This is a very important aspect for Nykaa as it helps them invest in various other such policies, help in product innovation, and other marketing strategies to improve their sales. Rest, we can also see that there's an improvement in all of the assets and all of the liabilities. So totally, we can say that it was an important change for Nykaa and an overall growth in their sales.
So now we'll talk about price and demand graph of Nykaa. As you can see, there's a decline. It could be due to various reasons like shift in company's performance, market sentiments, government policies, and nowadays there are many startups that are coming like Sugar Cosmetics, Glam. They are providing a great tough competition for Nykaa, and hence we can see there's decline in price and demand graph for Nykaa.
For the for the main reason for Lakme's For the main reason for Lakme profit is e-commerce. E-commerce expanded Lakme market, boosted convenience, lowered cost, and enabled broader customer access. Revenue growth supported by continuous product innovation launches. And one more main reason for Lakme's profit is celebrity endorsement and partnerships, enhancing brand visibility and sales.
Now for the conclusions for Nykaa. So Nykaa has a strong online revenue due to its dominant e-commerce presence, and introduction to private label brands has contributed to higher profit margins. And Nykaa has significantly invested in the infrastructure and technology. And Nykaa has had multiple funding rounds, which has increased their value. And this also shows that the investors believe in the company. And Nykaa has also diversified their platform into fashion and accessories to for additional revenue. And conclusion for Lakme, being a part of the well-established brand Hindustan Unilever Limited, Lakme is able to generate a good revenue. And additionally, of- Lakme benefits from its vast network of all offline stores and salons, and the constant innovation and product launches uh, contribute to their growth. Moreover, celebrity endorsement and partnership enhance the visibility and sales, and they have a reliable revenue because they have well recognized in the market.
So, in summary of our total research, we can say that Nykaa's financial success is strongly rooted on its online dominance and also its private label strategies. Whereas for Lakme, their well-established company is mainly like because of their offline retail stores and also their established brand. So, in a summary, we can say that both of these brands are important and they have a unique approach to the e-commerce provided. Now, e-commerce has not only helped them in financial ways, but also several other ways, such as customer experience, by enhancing the usage of their apps and websites to make them more attractive. Then, management to make better decisions using the help of e-commerce, such as warehousing and several other stuff. Marketing and advertising, the same as customer experience, so as to attract more customers and increase their sales. Yeah.
As our research was a secondary research, so these are the sources we used. Money control we use for balance sheet, screener we use for our graphs, and for other information we use Google.
Yeah, we are open for questions now.
Yeah. In the bibliography, can we come back to bibliography? Yes. So, what is the role of money control here?
Ma'am, so Money Control is a verified website which helps us gain financial insight. So we have used Money Control to find the price and demand graph of both the companies. Like we have compared in our slides. So
And why did you write Google? Why did you write Google?
like we've just used Google for gaining an insight and a general introduction about both the companies.
So, you used Wikipedia?
No, ma'am, just normal like Google sources. Yeah, like
So, that sources has to be mentioned. Okay, Arjun?
okay, ma'am.
Right. Any other questions?
There was a graph which showed the decline of Nykaa,
Yes, ma'am.
and subsequently, I don't recollect if it is the same timeline in which you show the Lakme increasing at the same time.
Sorry, sir.
Here you see it is declining, right? This is for Nykaa. If you go 2 slides further, this is increasing.
Sure.
Have you figured out why? It is at the same time, right?
Yeah. So as we already said that Nykaa's graph is declining because of the
market strategies, government policies, and other startups are coming. First of all, Nika is a startup, so it doesn't have as many advantages as a MNC does. Lakme has many advantages which Nika doesn't, and Nika is in tough competition with Sugar Cosmetics and Glam, which is also like increasing their growth. That's why there's difference in the price and demand growth of each.
Also, because Lakme is an MNC, it already has various marketing strategies, large capital investments, and advanced technology. So basically, indeed, it's helping them in their globalization and reaching out to a furthermore customer database compared to that of before.
But are we comparing it? Both the companies have similar products or completely
Yeah,
different
both
ones?
of the sorry to interrupt. Both of the companies have similar product as they are based in the fashion and like mostly beauty and wellness. So that's why we have taken these two companies for a comparison.
Yeah, that is why I was asking. While when you are comparing two big ones, significant ones, one is coming down and one is going up at the same time. Yeah, you can go back and look into it, of course, as to why something is coming. If the policies of the government cannot be selective for Nika, right? It applies for Lakme as well. So you may want to dig a little deeper in those senses. That's all. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
That was an exemplary presentation. Now from the second group, we have Bhuvi, Kritika, Pranav, Shriyan, and Ankit.
In today's digital age, e-commerce has become an increasingly important aspect of doing business. It has revolutionized the way companies conduct business, enabling them to tap into global marketplace and reap a host of benefits while navigating some certain challenges. By leveraging the power of technology, companies can reach a wider audience, reduce overhead costs, and improve customer experience. In this presentation, we will be exploring the role of e-commerce in reducing operational costs.
Role of e-commerce. E-commerce refers to the buying and selling of goods and services over the internet. This includes from everything from online shopping to online banking. By eliminating the need of physical storefront and reducing the overhead costs, companies can significantly increase the profitability. This presentation highlights e-commerce's impact on multinational companies with the reference of L'Oreal. This research paper is exploratory in nature. Secondary data has been used.
The objective of the study is to look at the role of e-commerce in reducing operational costs in cosmetic industry and to compare the impact of e-commerce on L'Oreal in its initial years of using e-commerce and its present growth. L'Oreal's journey with e-commerce has evolved from an initial market expansion and sales growth to a more refined and data-driven approach. The company has adapted to changing consumer preferences and technological advancements, aiming to deliver an exceptional online shopping experience while maintaining a strong brand placement. The scope of the study is to help researchers know about the role of e-commerce in cosmetic industry and to help students learn case studies of L'Oreal. E-commerce revolutionized cosmetic in enhancing brand sales, brand engagement, sales, and customer interactions. The shift empowers cosmetic companies to adapt to changing preferences while enriching the online shopping experience. Researchers studying e-commerce role in cosmetics should consider these aspects for a comprehensive understanding. E-commerce reshaped cosmetics, fostering brand engagement and sales growth. L'Oreal's case offers insight for students to grasp the managing of global cosmetic leaders and apply these lessons broadly.
Okay, so the main benefits to business of e-commerce is that it helps reduce operational costs significantly. E-commerce eliminates the need of physical stores, lowering expenses related to rents, utilities, and maintenance. Real-time tracking prevents overstocking and stockouts, optimizing inventory expenses. E-commerce automates order processing, payment collection, and data management, reducing labor costs. Cost-effective digital marketing strategies like targeted ads and emails campaigns replace pricier traditional methods. E-commerce also improves supply chain efficiency, minimizing logistic expenses. Personalization and loyalty programs reduce costs by retaining existing customers. There are other ways in which e-commerce helps reduce operational costs, which are real-time data highlights, no insights, scalability, efficiency, and lean staffing.
So I will be discussing the relation between L'Oreal Paris and its progress in e-commerce. L'Oreal, a multinational cosmetics and beauty company, began its e-commerce initiatives in the early 2000s. They started to establish their online presence and offer products for sale on their website and through various online retailers around that time. Over the years, L'Oreal has continued to expand and enhance its e-commerce capabilities to cater to the growing online shopping trends. L'Oreal has used e-commerce to redesign supply chain capabilities and implement a world-class integrated information system that provides a collaborative compilation of volume forecasts across sales, marketing, supply chain, and finance teams, which were then shared worldwide with various factories and distribution centers. By adopting a direct to consumer approach, partnering with renowned online retailers, and prioritizing user experience, L'Oreal Paris has expanded its market reach and fostered sales growth. Leveraging augmented reality for virtual try ons and personalized recommendations, the brand enhances customer engagement and promotes confident purchasing decisions.
Here we have a balance sheet for L'Oreal at the beginning of their e-commerce efforts in 2009 and the latest balance sheet from 2022. In this, we have tried to show the exponential growth of L'Oreal over the last decade. In the last 13 years or so, since L'Oreal has moved from physical stores to e-commerce platforms, there has been a significant growth in the business. Their equity has doubled and so has their goodwill, which is their reputation. As we can see here, there has been an increased share of e-commerce platform sales in the total sales of the company. In 2014, e-commerce contributed to hardly 5% of the share of sales, while in the first quarter of 2020 alone, we can see that the share of e-commerce sales in the total sales of L'Oreal has risen to 20%, which is 4 times of the initial amount.
To summarize, e-commerce offers numerous benefits for businesses looking to reduce operational costs. Technology and online platforms, companies can reach wider audience, streamline operations, and improve customer experience. However, it's essential to acknowledge the implementing e-commerce comes with challenges, such as security, increased competition. To overcome these challenges, businesses can invest in security payment gateways, offer personalized experience, and differentiate themselves from competitors through unique branding and marketing strategies.
These are the various sources that we have used in our research, since research is based on secondary data. Thank you.
I want to ask you one question. What is operational cost and how can it be reduced?
Operational cost. Okay, so operational costs are basically what the business invests into itself to make profit. So e-commerce is a platform that can help reduce operational costs significantly, since it removes the challenges of place, since it has global marketplace, and it also helps to streamline the supply chain.
Who chose L'Oreal as a case study? Whose idea was that?
Sir?
Whose idea that to choose L'Oreal?
It was as a group, it was our idea to take L'Oreal, since it's a well-known, established MNC.
You mentioned that it is the research, picked it from research. You picked up from somewhere, right?
Yeah, we used L'Oreal's own websites for conducting our research.
Why do you think that there has been an increase in share of e-commerce?
So e-commerce is one such platform that it helps widen your customer base. So L'Oreal, it was not, since before it was not limited by its physical storefronts, but with the introduction of e-commerce platforms in its business, it helped widen the consumer base and reach places where it could not have before.
No. See, especially these cosmetic things, right? See, for example, I don't know if L'Oreal sells the scents of perfumes. I don't know actually. Do they? Do you know?
They might, I'm not sure.
Fair enough. I'm just giving an example, right? I would like to smell it before I buy it, or even if you put the makeup, I'll have to see whether the shades are okay.
We have mentioned that L'Oreal has leveraged augmented reality for virtual try-ons. So it will help you see the makeup recommendations on your face before you actually purchase it.
So the technology has helped to gain
yes,
that experience. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
With this, we have come to an end of our presentations. Each and every presentation displayed the zest of the youth to tackle problems and find innovative solutions to all of them. Now I'd like to call our esteemed judge, Mr. Nitin Shastri, to share his experience with us.
Does this work? That's okay. Cool. Thank you all for making the presentation. I really enjoyed it, and I also was noticing some of you have exceptional stage presence. Some of you can definitely improve. Even I can improve on those things. I really saw that some of the presentations had depth. Some could have more depth in it. It's very easy to look at the Google, and you all mentioned that this has been secondary research, that you picked it up from somewhere and tried to put it up on PPT. You could do little more in each one of those research is what I felt. In terms of you putting out these questions to get the information, that's usually the part of research. Yes, you're right in that sense, where you tend to get the pulse of what's happening out there. But you should also add your observation and your thought in it. For example, if I can pick up on Nika. That is one of the startups that you guys have mentioned. I don't think Phalguni Nair would have sent a questionnaire throughout India asking people if they want a startup called Nika, right? she would have done something else. Of course, she would have gone through some other market research, yes. But ultimately, her input, her feel into that has got her, what she ended up doing. So that's a significant one. In a similar way, I also can reflect on Amazon versus Walmart thing that some of you have mentioned. It's very easy to get lost in the balance sheet. You quickly go look at that and then you make a conclusion immediately. I come from such a background because what I do is day in day out is get the financial data. Data can be sliced in multiple ways. So try to make. I know it was much beyond your scope for this presentation for now. Try to go much beyond it. And another example that I put was Nika was coming down and Lakme was going up at the same time. It's not a magic thing. There are some more things hidden within the data. Those are the things that you may want to dig a little deeper. On the COVID, guys, all the interpretations that you have done, I felt you guys have done fantastic research. I must say, I did not know quite a few things. The recommendations that you were trying to give was also good. What caught my eyes was one of the cancellation of tickets. That was very interesting for me. I mean, at least I was not thinking in those lines too much. And I also saw that there has been overwhelming bias towards government needs to do this, government needs to do that kind of things. If you can tilt those things towards what I can do, what we can do, what the private sector can do, and seek help in terms of leveraging that, it will be a lot more better, is what I felt. Again, conclusions also, don't jump into conclusions. It would be best to avoid the word conclusion itself. It is best to say that these are the interpretations because it's all subject to change. Market and the world is so volatile. The moment you get into conclusions, you become rigid. And I understand you are in 11th and 12th standard. Your parents would have been asking you to conclude which way you want to go. Yes, you can conclude in that direction for now. But when it comes to facing, whatever things are out there, don't conclude, be open so that, you can receive a lot of the things that life has to offer, each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I request everyone to be patient for the students from other groups to assemble in the auditorium for the closing ceremony.
I request everyone to settle down.
I welcome all the dignitaries and the participants to the closing ceremony. As we transition to the concluding segment of the event, we are honored to invite to the podium our chairman, Dr. C. Purnachandra Rao, an embodiment of expertise, experience, and inspiration to address the gathering. Please give him a big round of applause.
Dignitaries of the dais, parents, teachers, my dear students. I think all the students has come back. Oh, good. Okay. Actually, today I prepared very short. Once you give the mic, they say I'm exceeding my timings now. Today I don't want because already young fully. I want to speak very few words now. I'm extremely happy to present here on the occasion of our school young scholars interdisciplinary project symposium. That is presentation of innovative research paper by interdisciplinary thinking and problem solving. Every problem has a solution, and all you need to do is think critically and creatively. How to think creatively? Here, let us understand what Dr. APJ beautifully said. Learning gives creativity, creativity leads to thinking, thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. Today, our students are great. Yes, with this idea of knowledge, of our 11th and 12th standard students had presented today 15 papers on various topics from different subjects related to commerce and science. Yes, this morning also I was witnessed 2-3 topics, in fact, now. Though I came from commerce, first I want to learn it from other segments. That's why I went there first and then last I joined here now. Yeah. Some of their presentations along with the highly learned judges for this program today here now. I would like to touch upon 3 topics in brief. That is autism spectrum disorder in ASD and COVID-19 effect on industrial relations industry. Third one, ASI. Yes, sir. Artificial intelligence. Here our students very nicely highlighted 2 successful enterprises cases, that is Nykaa and new startup and Amazon MNC USA by utilizing role of e-commerce, online shopping to online banking. No doubt, there will be plenty of scope for new startup in future. Because this is the COVID impact, everyone was afraid during the period of COVID, what is going to happen now? But everything coming normal now. It is not only industry, any real estate or education, everything today is come to better than normal before COVID now. This we can show that one now. So today, this is the scope for all my students now, lot of scope for your new startups now. You have to focus on now. Job is okay, always there. But startup is very, very important. Please look into on this particular plan. Artificial intelligence. Yes. Everyone talk artificial intelligence. Today also I heard now. Lot of advantages on this one now. You want to shift it. But when you are going to do artificial intelligence, very beautiful, everything now. Everything is. So many factors now. I heard something like that. Artificial intelligence, when they now, question has come now, unemployment. I didn't know unemployment. Are you going to resolve it now? I do not know. More unemployment or more employment more? I do not know. Questions is there. No clarity for me. My dear students, you have to tell unemployment question here now. Job may be easy. Cost also is there. You have to spend a lot of cost. Beginning yourself, a lot of cost is there, involvement there. Job is easy, I'm not denying now. Cost also effect now. So you have to analyze on this one now. Today we can call artificial intelligence revolution now. How earlier, I came from industrial revolution. Industrial revolution, I do not know where you are in industrial. Industrial revolution for a long period, centuries together, I can say. I came from that one, I know what now. Then IT revolution, digital revolution now. We are almost at a digital revolution. Today we are talking artificial revolution now. Yes, not now, even future also now. So let us prepare for all the things now. Revolution is always there now. Let us prepare. But we should not forget what is earlier revolutions now. We should not forget now. If you forgot it, a little bit, what happened now? You are forgetting your old grandparents, parents, our parents also will forget it now. This is what I want to tell you. Please look into those points now, particularly. Regarding particularly, I want to focus on this one. Regarding ASC, our students had tried to give analysis and help the ASD suffering people and overcome and control this disorder by improving environment they are in and other methods of treatment. Yes, this is I want focus here. It is not a disease. Yes, it is not a disease. This is one type of disorder. That's all now. As for the latest population, then more than 10% of the population in the world is suffering with this one now. Madam also telling now, not 10%, more than 15%. Even schools level also 10%. Every school has taken today what is the need by appointing special educator, what I may be doing now. Here, why I want to raise this particular ASC concentrate, it is a collective responsibility of all us here as citizens. Please understand now. As students, you can do. Today, I asked a question, ASC people, students, have you interacted people who submitted research? Frankly, they said no. I want to interact. It is not interaction for the research. I met them now today, openly I'm talking now. Friendly interact. How can support them? They require moral support. In addition to therapy, GRPC, so many there, I'm not denying now. Maybe genetic, non-genetic, all the things secondary. But here, moral support required. As a course student, probably you will find in our schools, any schools now, even our schools also, pre-primary, primary level, most schools are now. So, you have to make them friendly, support them, don't look them differently. Don't look them differently at all. When you go there, you mingle with them. That is the most important now in school. In society, even your neighbors may have, make them friendly. So wherever you meet them, this is the most important, my dear students. We are lucky. God is giving the good health and all. Why don't you support them? This is what I want to please keep in mind, for ASU students particularly now. So, no, as Suresh is, this is the good platform for research is starting now. Definitely, I think this project will continue. Madam, just telling now, even we will try to introduce even 9th and 10th also to give some type of awareness. You will be advanced stage will be the next. This is the beginning for you now. Definitely, in future, good platform we are going to give it. I mean, engineering professors also here now. They also telling only we see in this college level now. You coming to here, we are happy here also. We have very, very eminent personalities are here now in front of you now. They will probably already would have guide you all things now. Even future also, we are trying to take their guidance. Please understand now. Not only your teachers, even we are taking guidance from them now for your research cell. We'll do the best one. Please note that research is not one day job, months, year. It may take years together. Please understand now. Years together. Cost is different. Cost effective is different now. But at least you understand what you want to do it now. So, in conclusion, I would appreciate all students and faculty for our efforts, sincere, serious efforts, I can say, and make a grand success of this one now. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivational words.
The most important thing is not winning, but taking part. The essential thing in life is not conquering, but fighting well. On this note, the most awaited moment of the day has arrived. It's time for the announcement of the results. I would like to invite our honorable judges for the science group, Mr. Amit Gupta, Dr. Shweta Panchal, and Karthik Shastri.
Want to speak? Yeah. Do we announce the winners or something?
They'll be announcing the winners and giving the certificates to the participants.
We don't know who. All right. While I fill the time, dignitaries of the dais, parents, and I'd like to address students as my friends. Thank you for inviting me. It's been real pleasure to be here. And more importantly, I'm heartened by the fact that, sir, you have recommended that you would like to create a research cell, and I'd be more than happy to contribute whatever possible from my end. And hopefully this association would go on well into the future. As I've been in engineering education for the past 6 years now, I just share a couple of pointers here. It's not pointing fingers at anyone, but these are some basic hard facts that I have observed. What I see is more and more students are opting for computer-based courses, specifically AI, machine learning. Now, I do know most of the parents here are working in the field of computers. No disrespect in any way. I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your toes. But what I do see is hardcore engineering courses like civil engineering, mechanical engineering, they are facing the brunt of this massive shift. In fact, a recent study has shown that more than 60% of engineering colleges in Bangalore have shut down their civil engineering and mechanical engineering departments. Now, this is something that has to be looked at. And sir, you've come from industrial revolution era. It would be painful for you to hear this because you cannot use AI to build buildings. You cannot use AI to build move mountains. You need some hardcore engineering departments to survive, where still ingenuity, creativity flows from the human mind into whatever we create. And there are very specific skill sets that are required for such departments. We want students who are imaginative. We want students who are creative with their hands, who enjoy working long hours, working on a machine, working on a fundamental physics concept. There's only so much time you can sit and keep knocking on a computer. Again, I'm very sorry to who are involved in computer science. I have no hard feelings against you. But what I see is more often than not, it's because of peer pressure and the obvious fact that the salary packages are very high in AI and computer science that I see this trend. And another heartfelt message to parents is there is a particular advantage for rote learning, which is basically done for all entrance exams. But far more important is creating a scientific temper among students, encouraging students to explore the unknown. And a fundamental step of research is curiosity. So curiosity in a channeled form is what we call research. So please try to encourage this as much as possible. I am a product of rote learning. I've gone from a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. College, and I know what kind of drills happen over there. They drill the formula into your head, and you're like a robo. You're writing it in the exam, and then you get your grade and you walk out. But the moment we ask our students to apply Newton's law into a particular field, everything goes crashing down. They know the formula, but they don't know how to apply it. So please try to encourage this sort of an education where research in its true form, that is the curious form, is encouraged. And that's my 2 minutes here. Thank you.
We now have the results for the presentations. I request the judges to announce them.
Go ahead. I don't. Science first prize is no editing.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We have the results of this competition, but in my eyes and probably all the judges' eyes, all of you are winners. Just attempting to understand what is scientific research itself makes you a winner. Okay, so applaud yourself for that today. Okay, so group 1 was biological science and psychology. The first prize or the first person to come, the group is genome editing in HIV and AIDS treatment using CRISPR-Cas9 immunotherapy. And the students involved are Aaron George, Anandita Kumari, Anushka Chauhan, Sumaira Afshin.
Okay, now we have second prize winners.
The second prize goes to Nandana Venugopal and Neela Nenjayan. Their topic was addition of lithium to antipsychotics to reduce negative symptoms in schizophrenia.
Give a big round of applause.
For the physical sciences and AI group, the first prize goes to role of nanotechnology as fuel catalyst in consumer vehicles and transformation. Srinayan Velupula, Vibha Venu, R. Naren, and N. Sangeeta. The second prize is climate change subsidence of oil above groundwater level. Subsidence, I'm sorry. Yashaswini, Niharika, Mahika, Lakshmi, Rashmi, Gitika, and Leena. For commerce, please ask the other.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I request Mr. Nitin Shastri, Mr. Amit Gupta to give the winners of commerce section.
Hello. So the winners for the commerce and the humanities sessions, the first prize goes towards COVID-19 impact on industrial and tertiary industry and government reforms. Students are Mirapai, Ramyashri, Midhu, Varshini, Dayamihar,
I request Nandini ma'am to come onto the stage, Director of Operations. So, please join me. A round of applause, please. I request Mr. Nitin Shastri to announce the second place for commerce.
This is the one? Determining the difference in the impact of e-commerce on startups. Bhuvi. And what's the other one? Ritika, Pranav, Shriyansh, and Ankit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all judges. Once again, everyone, let us offer a resounding round of applause for all the winners as well as the participants. With this, we arrive at the culmination of our ceremony. I now invite our Honorable Senior Coordinator, Shakila Sarvanraj, to deliver the closing address.
Thank you. Good day and warm good afternoon to our Honorable Chairman, esteemed judges of the day, respected principal, vice principal, parents, teachers, and my dear students. I'm pleased to render the vote of thanks on behalf of all the students and staff of the WGS family. A famous quote by Albert Schweitzer says, "At times of our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person." Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us. Today was one such day where our learners got an opportunity to rekindle their thought processes and present their findings about the various happenings in the fields of humanities, science, and commerce. This program has taken its shape under the guidance of our visionary chairman. A warm thank you to our honorable chairman, whose thoughts has always paved the way for new learning. We felt so happy to have you amongst us, and your valuable guiding thoughts has always opened our eyes of new thinking. Thank you, sir. I express my warm gratitude to the judges of the day, who amongst their busy schedule have made themselves available for us, and by their presence and their valuable suggestions have kindled the spark of learning in our young learners. Your critical reflections have definitely made our learners understand the meaning of research and development. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. A word of thanks will not be sufficient to extend our gratitude to our respected principal, who was a pillar of support and guided us throughout the planning and execution of the program. Thank you, ma'am. Our love and heartfelt thanks to our beloved vice principal, who was constantly motivating us and reflecting, has helped us fine-tune our planning. Thank you, ma'am. I'm obliged to our mentor teachers who were constantly guiding our young scholars with their planning and execution of their research works. I also feel happy to extend our thanks to our parents who always have believed in us and stood by us in all the endeavors to shape the future of our young learners. Thank you, parents. Extended gratitude to our admin department who always stand by us in our planning and provide the necessary logistical support. Last but not the least, thank you to our young learners, students, who brought the zeal to the program to their relentless effort and sincerity. Overall, the program has been a wonderful session to learn and reflecting on the learning for all of us. Thank you once again and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
I would take a moment to thank our beloved trustee, Dr. Narendra Shekhar sir, who has made it possible come here today. It was a very pleasant surprise for us. Thank you, sir, for making it today and sharing your guidance with us. I would also like to take a moment to thank our Director Operations, Nandini ma'am, for being here as a beacon of light and helping us and guiding us all through. Thank you, parents, and thank you, students.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
To ignite in us the spirit of patriotism, I would like everyone to rise for the national. With this, we arrive to the ending of our ceremony. This is I, Niharika,
Aditya,
and Shreyas,
signing off for the day. It has been an honor hosting this event.
Thank you all for being here with us.